Who's hated more? Blacks or me? What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So I saw a video by Chill, and I put his thumbnail and my thumbnail because I noticed he's been putting mine in his, and it's easier that way, right? It's easier. It's less work. I also listened to the majority of Chill's video because I do like Chill. Chill has, for the most part, always been unbiased. As a content creator, I also see this for what it is. It's good for his channel to mention my name, to mention Gunner's name, and to go down this path. I do have, there's so many directions to take this video. Listening to Chill's video, there's so many directions. You know, it's strange to me, it's funny to me, but it is not surprising or shocking in the least. Gunner and I are two of the most hated on YouTube. And everything we say to certain people is a lie, is racist. It's just all negative. However, when you find a comment that fits your argument, then, oh, Gunner's right. Gunner made a video and said that the blacks were the most hated. Oh, he's right. Everything else he says is wrong, but damn it, he's right on this. Pretty strange. It's a pretty strange way of thinking, a pretty strange way of living life. But here we are. When I heard that the cosign on the video was going to be what Gunner had to say, I was like, damn. So his prison experience dictates everybody's prison experience and overrides it, right? I was going to make a video and talk about historically what faction goes at it with every faction and which faction only goes at it with basically Southerners and whites. But then I was like, the people that hate me and hate Mexicans are gonna, their ears are closed and their mind is already made up. That's what we're dealing with. So I'm gonna stay away from all that, and I'm gonna run with the narrative that's being portrayed in the video that Chill put out. Chill asked a question. And the question was, are we being too sensitive or are we under attack? Or he had the other way around. Are we under attack or are we being too sensitive? A small group of people, in my opinion, are being very sensitive, and they are the loudest ones in the room. And the rest, even of their own people, are looking at them like, damn, what are you watching? What are you listening to? Because they come to my channel and my platform and they're like, I've been rocking with you for years and never once have I got a racist vibe of, you know, any hatred, any of that. I don't do that. I don't preach that. But what I do want to do is point some things out, okay? And I think it's important. And as I said, I'm going to go by the narrative that is being pushed in Chill's video, and especially in his comments. And let's just go from there. Let's say the blacks are the most hated. If I'm going to agree and say that the blacks are most hated, then I'm also going to specify who hates blacks the most. Nipsey Hussle. Who killed Nipsey Hussle? Tupac. Who killed Tupac? Biggie Smalls. Who killed Biggie Smalls? Draco. Who killed Draco? PNB Rock. Who killed PNB Rock? Slim 400. Who killed Slim 400? Pop Smoke. Who killed Pop Smoke? And these are just some of the ones that happen in California. You could talk about Young Dolph. You could talk about Julio Fulio. You can talk about XXX extension. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Who is the only one? Nipsey Hussle was killed by that dude. I'm not going to say his name and give him no shine. Who's the only one to put hands on him? A Mexican. Tekashi 6ix9ine testified against a whole lot of blacks, a whole gang. And it was Raza. It was what Latinos that put hands on him in that Planet Fitness, 24-hour fitness, wherever the hell he was in them little shiny ass shorts, right? If the blacks are the most hated, they are hated by blacks more than anything. That's a fact. If the Raza are most hated, they're most hated by Raza. Can we put the spotlight where it belongs and stop stoking these flames of hate? Especially if it's for views. I just did a video yesterday. And I spoke on a black platform that gave the truth, the reality of what happened with the mural and what's going on in Compton. And the people that hate me, what did they say? Dubs is doing damage control. No. Go back and look at all my videos. And I always give props. And I get a lot of pushback from Raza. Not because they hate blacks, but because they hate the way you guys respond and always turn it into something racist, something racial, way too fucking sensitive. And they tell me, why you keep doing that, man? Look at how they act every time. They want me to talk about the list of vendors that have been attacked by blacks this year. I don't do it. You know why? Because that stokes hatred. A lot of these videos that are put out stoke hatred, and it's the exact opposite of what I want to do, what I'm trying to do, and what I've been trying to do. I will be doing an interview with Cartoon 5 Trey from Avalon. Shout out to Cartoon. We just have to get the scheduling down. I still have Chill's phone number. I have Cartoon's phone number. Hoodie used to have my number. We're still in contact. Chinaman, Damian Porter. You know, Nate 916. Like all these dudes behind the scenes I talk to, and every time it's a cordial conversation. There's nothing for this here. It's nothing for content. But yet those that have never had a discussion with me, those who don't know me, those who have hatred in their hearts for Mexicans, view me as the poster child of their hate. And that's a fact. And I feel like a lot of these videos stoke the fucking hatred in their hearts. I don't do that. Like I said, there were a lot of different ways I could have took this video and went with this video. And I feel I speak from my experience, my life experience, my prison experience. You know, and it's funny again because people are like, Dubs comes from a city where it's like no blacks. Okay, but I was raised in the state. I tell people, you know, the people that like to say that, I say, you know, I've been around real black gangsters more than most of the guys commenting. Even dudes from hoods. I've been around more black gangsters than they ever have. So what is the whole Santa Barbara doesn't have a lot of blacks have to do with anything when I spend more time behind walls than I did in my city? Even being out 7 years, I have more time in behind those walls than I have out here. I've spoken so many times about having respect for your adversary once you engage with them. Once you're around them, once you're behind those walls and you see whatever disagreement we have is a business disagreement. It's a breakdown in communication. It's not personal. There's a lot of personal feelings involved in social media. That tells me we have two different people. People who have never been to war or people who are victims. Because those are the two that talk the most and have the most hate. When you've been to war, you understand no one's winning in that. You could win a battle. You could win a skirmish. But you don't win a war like that. The war, when you're behind the walls, is you and that time you're doing. How are you doing that time? That's the real war. You know, somebody asked me in my live last night, Gunner and I went live, and somebody said, hey, Dubs, you should do more prison riot stories. When was the last time we heard of a riot? That's another thing that is put out there, allowed to be out there, that is a fucking lie. It's a fallacy. How many riots do you think there was in the last 30 years? Riots don't happen all the time. Riots are bad for business. But in some people's mind, there's a riot every day. But those of us who have been in prison and been around riots and been on yards where there's riots, you know, when there's a riot, there's a long ass lockdown. And then people come off lockdown, and whenever it's done, and then it's going to program for years. For the most part. But no, if we let Hollywood tell us, and we let these dudes that never been on these yards tell us, or we let these level 2 dudes that told a story to another dude who told a story to another dude, another dude, another dude, another dude, another dude, there's a riot every motherfucking day. South and North are going at it every day. The South and the blacks are going at it every day. No, they're not. Can we get back to reality? I think we have a responsibility as content creators, especially those of us from California. Because there's a lot of people in a lot of other states that are using our stories, talking about the groups that are here, the STGs, the disruptive groups, the big four, whatever you want to call them, and they have no idea what they're talking about. And I think at the end of the day, that falls back on us to an extent, but it also falls on their biases, their hatred, and their thirst for clout. I believe if you've lived it, if you've experienced it, and you tell it the right way, you're going to get your views. You're going to get your money. You don't got to tell no lies. You don't got to put extras on it. Because those of us that have been there are going to know you're making shit up, man. So that's my story today. That's my video today. If blacks are the most hated, they're more hated by blacks than anything else. Same as any other group. You know, when I put up the pictures earlier, I almost forgot to point this out. When I put up the pictures earlier of Nip and Pac and Biggie and Draco and all these dudes, when I put those pictures up, you guys should still feel some sense of, damn, we make it. Every one of those dudes was successful in the music industry. And they were killed out of jealousy, out of greed, envy, whatever it was that motivated the people that took their lives. These were successful men. These are men that have a legacy of music, of media, of whatever that you can go back to and you can see. You know what the flip side of that is? The only stuff I see on YouTube about Raza, killing Raza, is in prison. You can go to Hector Bravo's channel, the Prison Guard channel, and you'll see, look at all the murders that have been happening in the California Department of Corrections. I don't see one black dude killed by a white or a Mexican. Yogi Pinell, you could add him. You could say him, Yogi Pinell. How many years ago was that? But look at how many whites are killing whites. Look at how many Southerners have killed Southerners. And those are the two groups. 99% of the murders that are happening behind the walls are those two groups. The Southerners and the whites killing their own. So it's a damn shame. And this is the thing I talk about. And maybe sometimes I don't talk it right. Maybe I don't get my point across the way I intend to. It's a damn shame that there's no raza pictures that I could put up and say, this dude, look at this dude, man. He was a star, man. This dude was going places. He was on the verge of making millions and putting his family in a great position forever. And he was tragically murdered. Nah. I could show pictures of a dude who was doing life for killing, got killed by another raza who was doing life for killing. We got to put everything in perspective, man. It's a damn shame. It's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.